Hello everyone, and welcome to this video where Casper will go through the robotic and automation sector report that was recently published by him and his team. So welcome Casper, can you please give us a brief introduction to the report?
Yes, thank you, Oliver. So as you said, we recently published our robotics sector report, and we have covered different growth sectors, such as both the software or the cloud sector and also the green tech sector. So I will start to try to compare these different sectors, of course, with a focus on the robotics sector. And if we look at the share returns of the three growth sectors and also Nasdaq as a reference index, we see that the robotics sector has actually underperformed the Nasdaq index, both year to date, down approximately 37%, and actually also over the 5 years period, only providing a 7% return. And this is relatively low, also looking at the green tech sector and of course the cloud sector. And as we know, the historical returns are not, you can say, expected to be replicated in the future, but I will try to zoom in on why the robotics sector could be one of the future winners, or over the coming years be one of the winners. So this is the main focus.
And that sounds good, Casper. Can you tell us a bit, why is it that the robotic and automation sector is interesting?
Yeah, so why this sector could be relevant should of course be seen in the light of different drivers and changes in the world right now. So right now we have seen a situation with the labor shortages and also demand for increased automation as an effect of the labor shortages. And we have also seen a change over the past few years after 30 years of globalization. But the COVID-19 pandemic kind of changed this situation, and also recent geopolitical events increased the pressure on global supply chains. So many companies, or at least in the Western world, are kind of seeing this deglobalization or nearshoring, onshoring trend, where they are kind of moving their supply chain or production closer to the home markets, and this could increase the investment in this sector a lot. Another key driver for the robotics and automation sector is also the green transition, because that the green transition is kind of dependent on automation solutions and robotics to increase the efficiency and of course decrease the CO2 emissions and so on. So these are some of the main drivers right now, and looking at the numbers, we also see that the market reports estimates that both the industrial robotics market and of course the service robotics market is expected to increase with, or are expected to increase with, relatively high double-digit growth rates towards 2030. So yeah, the market reports also support that this sector could grow a lot going forward.
That sounds interesting. So if we look at the valuation, can you tell us how is the sector valued?
Yeah, so of course it's always very hard to make a simple way or general way to show the valuation, but in the report we have tried to came up with the two perspectives on the valuation based on simple price to sales multiples. And focusing on the Nordic perspective, we have chosen or sampled some smaller growth shares. And on the other hand, we have also compared that or looked into some of the global larger international companies with billion-dollar revenue, some of them. So of course, these are hard to compare, but we have taken both sectors to give some perspective on the valuation on the whole robotics sector. We see that actually that the multiples are relatively close to each other for 2021, and actually the global companies are valued even higher than the smaller growth companies right now, based on the 2022 guidance for revenue. So we right now, of course, see that the market is kind of favoring the solid companies when looking at the price to sales multiple. However, this could also open up for some different opportunities, both when looking at the growth companies versus the larger companies, but also looking at the robotics sector compared to the green tech companies and the cloud or other growth companies sectors. And yeah, so that's the perspective right now.
Thanks, Casper. And is the report focusing on any specific companies within the sector?
Yes, so in HC Andersen Capital, we have a cooperation with 3 Danish listed growth companies. That's Odico, Scale Technologies, and Shape Robotics. And these have been covered in the report, and I will just shortly go through them. So first, Odico is a Danish robotics company with solution to the construction industry. And the company has invested heavily into the products and different solutions. And now they are entering into a more commercialization phase with a new management. So that's a new way they are going right now with their robotic solutions to the construction industry. On the other hand, Scale Technologies is more focusing on the different manufacturing areas. So they are a software provider for you can say a bin picking software. So they are helping different industries and manufacturing areas which are facing the need of collecting and controlling and placing items randomly. Finally, we also have Shape Robotics, which is a robotics company within educational technology. So that's called EdTech. And Shape Robotics has developed the Fable robot system for schools. And currently or recently, they also changed their business model to be an EdTech distributor. So they also sell much other different technology to schools, including their own robot. So for different educational institutions, especially in Romania, as part of a EU-funded project, which is very large. So these are different companies within the sector, and of course, in the full report, you can read more about the financials, valuation perspectives, and of course also the key investment reasons and risks for the 3 companies.
Thanks again, Casper. And that's all from this video. And we can only highly recommend you to read the full report, which contains more details, financials, and more information about the key investment reasons and risk for the companies that Casper mentioned. So thank you for watching.